Hello, everybody. It's Christina Marie Weber, and I run a company called Christian Biz Owners on Fire, and we help faith-based and spiritual business owners who want a more fulfilling and prosperous business or ministry while putting God, their purpose, and their relationships first on a daily basis. So today we are going to be talking about paid support for your business. So before I go into that, let me just explain our little process. I do a monthly educational video for people following, and basically it's in response to a question or a phenomena that I notice going on with my ideal client. So someone who's following me, a current client, just something I've experienced and I see is duplicated with other business owners that just keep coming up. I will go ahead and create a little video on it, and then I provide that as a resource for you. So if you have a question, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, Christina Marie Weber, or Christian Biz Owners on Fire, or on the contact page of our website, www.christianbusinessownersonfire.com. So paid support for your business. This is not, although this kind of sounds like it, this is not about hiring help like staff. That's kind of a whole other topic. This is really hiring other kinds of help, like something isn't working in your business. And when's the point when you should look at hiring paid support for your business? So kind of the background of this, there are business owners that are very tight and frugal and are very cautious about hiring any kind of professional help to help them with their business. Again, I'm not talking about staff, although they may be tight with that as well. I'm talking more about consultative help or classes or learning opportunities or those kinds of resources. Um, and I am basically the opposite of that. When I transitioned from being a private practice marriage and family therapist to being a coach, I'm a big believer on practice what you preach. So when I was a therapist, I'm a big believer in dealing with your personal stuff. I've gone to a number of different therapists for different reasons. I believe in that process, and I just feel like I was the best therapist I could be by working on my own stuff. So I applied the same thing. I had the same attitude about becoming a coach. If I'm going to coach other people or be a consultant for other people, I want to be the best. I want to receive that myself. So, so basically I was an easy sell. Let's just put it that way. So, as a result of being so receptive to the process of this, I actually, and my own naivete, going from like the therapy world, the good touchy-feely world, to the coaching, consulting world, more businessy, I got taken advantage of. I set myself up. I don't say the other people were at fault. But there were a couple of issues that I had since I was so receptive to getting paid help for my business. I did a poor job of vetting the people that I hired. A lot of times, if they were working with someone for someone else I thought was successful, that was enough for me. The people I picked were poorly matched in terms of my needs and values and and what they had to offer. I way overpaid for average or subpar support. In some cases, the support even led me in the wrong direction. It was like it was an anti-help situation. I did not calculate, expect, or monitor any return on investment for what I should have been given, including calculating my time that would have been involved with that person. I blindly trusted really without any cause to trust them. So made a lot of mistakes. So throughout all of that, I had some very expensive mistakes, and frankly, I learned a lot from those people as well. Not what I intended to learn, but I did learn a lot. But I also had several really gems that were just fantastic investments. I still have a coach. I have two actually in different areas. I really value getting the right support. So, but I firmly believe in it, and I make a living on giving business owners support, paid support. So But so below today, I'm going to talk about three circumstances. These aren't the only three circumstances, but these are the top ones that came to my mind when it's time to pull the trigger and get some paid support for your business. So the first example is when you are having slow to no revenue growth in your business. So either you don't really know how to get clients consistently, like it's hit or miss, or sales consistently, like you've gotten some sales, but you can't reproduce it. Or maybe you have some steady clients, but you're not growing, and you're really kind of at the point where you can't figure out where to go. And this is so important, and this is why you should start having alarm bells if this is consistently happening, either of those scenarios, because adequate cash and clients not coming into your business is lethal. So it's numero uno priority. We got to get the cash and clients into your business. And if you can't figure it out, it's time to get paid support. Also, you got to be able to grow. And I had a guy, financial guy, he works with a lot of high-end people and their wealth management. And he points out any business needs to grow because all the expenses are growing. Inflation, your other costs. So if you're not growing, you're not keeping up with the costs that your business, so then your profitability goes down. So, and the other problem that could come here, you may finally come to that realization, oh shoot, I really do. This is a critical problem and I can't figure it out. But then a lot of times you're in kind of a desperation place. And so then many times people make a poor job of finding the right kind of paid support. So they don't really select people that are high value, and they end up confounding the problem. So if you get the wrong person to solve a problem that you're fairly desperate about, or is a very critical problem, and they give you the wrong information and the wrong guidance and lead you in the wrong direction, that actually can set you back worse than if you didn't get any help. And a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. I remember one time I was just I had a group that or actually a seminar that I was trying to fill, really bad at doing that. And so I hired this, didn't really understand digital marketing or anything, didn't have a big list, didn't understand how it worked, and hired this digital marketing person to help me fill this course. And that person was kind of new in their business. They'd been in corporate, but they were just venturing out on their own. So it was basically a lot of money to me at the time for zero result. And this person, well, you got a lot of clicks and da da da. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't after clicks. I was after, registrations for this thing. Now, knowing what I know now, I was completely unrealistic about that process. But she also did a very poor job of educating me on the process and basically wasted my money and time. I would have been better off not, that's an example. I would have been better off, other than the learning, to not have even done that. So that's what I'm talking about here. Reason two, in addition to reason one, slow to no revenue growth or revenue. Reason two is when you're working hard implementing your plan, but you can't pull it off, or it isn't working and you don't know why. So both of these things could be signals of a business model problem. So with business model problems, either you're executing the plan, but you still aren't profitable. So, or it's still not generating the results. So the plan isn't working, but maybe it's really what you're planning for. And some of the things, or you may have a plan that's impossible to execute. Like if you did, like I've got to get this many contacts and have this is my conversion rate, blah, 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 blah. But it's actually not realistic. Like no one can get that number of leads with what you're doing in your plan. And the mathematically is just never going to work. So that could be a problem. And sometimes what happens with, why those things are problems could be you just don't understand marketing and sales, but could be that you have a business or service that's priced too low for the amount of time it takes to sell it, market it, or even deliver. And that would be a business model problem. So, or your model might be too expensive, or there might be other barriers to implement. So your model might require skilled people you can't find, or who won't work for what you are willing to pay. That is a good example of when I had a therapy practice and I was practicing with my dad, and he was moving towards retirement. And I knew I worked part-time, did the part-time stay-home mom thing. And I knew that it was not something, all the overhead is not something I could sustain with just myself. And so I was planning on bringing some other, therapists in under me. But this is a good example. Therapists are really independent. So they don't like working for someone else or working under someone else. Um, they'll use you to build their practice. So then it takes a lot of your time to help them. And then once they have a full practice, a lot of times they'll leave with all the clients, and the clients are attached to them. They're not attached to you. So it's a big waste of time. The profit margin's not great enough that you really can't even work out that great of a deal with them, where it is even financially beneficial for them to work underneath your shingle. So it just, unless you have a huge office, great, everything's automated, they just walk in, plug and play. And there are some different kinds of clinicians. I wouldn't say mental health, but I know some occupational therapists, speech therapist stuff that have that kind of model, and it works great. It's very profitable for them. But again, if your model, if whoever you need to work in your business, they're not going to be motivated to work for the price you can pay to have it be profitable, that could be a problem. You could have niche issues, like you're going after a niche that is just not able to be found. They're not going to spend money on your service. I made multiple niche problems. One of my niches was Catholic mompreneurs. First of all, you can't find them. They're everywhere. Where do you find a group of Catholic mompreneurs? And this is before I really did a lot with the internet. I mean, you can find them a little bit, but it's not that easy. And they don't tend to spend money on their business. They spend money on their kids. If it comes to push come to shove, and the business is not the priority, the kids and the family, which is fine, but they're not motivated to get the kind of paid service that I was offering. So that was it. And I had a gal, I heard she's a music teacher, and the business she had, because she kept having people ask her for other referrals of other music teachers. So she created kind of a referral network thing, and would get a cut of, getting a cut to these, referring to these other, she's plugged into the music community. And but anyway, she kind of came to the point that she used the phrase, the squeeze wasn't worth the juice, or the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. It just was so much work for the very little benefit she got from it, that eventually she just said, this isn't worth it. So we don't want to move for steamroll forward ahead when there are issues with your business problem. It could be you just need a little bit of tweaking or this or that. It might not be, just maybe a different arrangement with your, subcontractors or something like that could make it work. But if that's not fixed, you're going to do a lot of work, and it's still not going to get you where you want to go, which could lead to the third reason why it might be time to get some paid support for your business. When you are grinding it out and getting near or at burnout levels. I have had several clients like this. So maybe they are hitting those numbers, and maybe an inefficient business model, or other problems in their business, but just because of their grit and their tenacity and their work ethic, they're able to make it numerically work, but it's destroying their health and life. You may be giving your business two employees for the price of one, that in essence, you're two people earning one salary, and that is not sustainable. The other thing I see in this category of people is they've worked so hard to make their business work, and maybe they do have a team, but they're the ones taking all the risk. They're the ones putting in the extra hours. They're the ones doing all of the difficult work, and they have other people, and it's a real good arrangement for them. They're getting paid almost more than the business owner with a lot less stress. And it's just not a very equitable system. So again, that's not sustainable. I mean, you doing that. So to conclude, it is critical that you know if you want to really have your business work, and you know what? You may have the wrong business model, this and that. You can always change it. But if you don't know what to do to change it and you don't have, you're not going to get some outside help that's quality, that's going to really help you do it, that's not going to take a ton of time and all of this, it's serious. I mean, that's a big problem. So you may not make it. And I kind of equate it like to people that are having marital problems and they know they have them, but they don't want to spend the time, the money, or the emotional risk to get help. And then they wait too long when one person's already out, like they're out of the marriage. You waited too long, to get some help. So, I would just encourage you, you don't need to wait that long, So if this is resonating with you, I am happy to have a conversation. If you think that I might be, um, at least give you an idea of some direction to go in, see if you think I might have some traits that would be helpful for you, or you resonate with the things that I teach here, please reach out. I'm more than welcome to have a conversation about it. So you can do that by going to LinkedIn, Christina Marie Weber, or Christian Biz Owners on Fire. You can leave me a message and direct message me there, or go to my contact page, Christian Biz Owners on Fire, where you can go on the contact page and indicate you'd like to have a conversation. If you are wanting that, put the phrase ready to thrive. That way I know kind of why you're contacting me, that it's along these lines. So that's what we've got today. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will look forward to the next video. All right, now we're going to strike the pose. Here we go. Okay. All right, very good.